Hello YouTube, this is Fen, and today we are gonna be reacting to a depressing world of bad Crash Bandicoot games by Caddicarus. I've seen many of those games. One of them, of course, is Crash Bash, which I hate with my whole life. But I wonder what he thinks about some of those games, right? Let's see. Oh yeah, again, the times of the lockdown.
The bricks and I are getting married. I love you.
Congratulations, Caddy.
God, Bandicoot month is full of surprises, isn't it? I mean, we come together to celebrate Crash, it's my birthday month, and now I'm getting married to a wall. How much better could everything possibly get?
Oh yeah.
Nah, you don't want any of that.
Huh? Who are you?
I'm Jason Station.
That is very funny.
Why would you want to play Crash Bandicoot 4 when you've got so many of the best Crash games right here?
Well, yeah, I suppose I do have all of these ones.
I'm not talking about them.
Say what? Well, that was just lovely. Oh, bugger
Oh,
me.
Oh, look,
I guess the
Cash
first song will be
Banuka.
Crash
That
Bash
was all right,
then.
wasn't it? Oh look, it's Cash Banuka 2. That was great, wasn't it? Oh look, it's Cash Banuka Wrapped. Oh look, it's Cash Teat Rabies. Oh look, it's Cash Twiternitty. These were fantastic, weren't they? Oh look, it's Cash Banuka, the Wrinkle of Cow.
This one is not great.
That wasn't a very good one, was it? The lore of what I just came up with dictates that if you want a few games in a franchise to be respected as truly brilliant and given the eternal status of classic, you need to be able to compare it to its own failings, so that you're able to see how badly its own gameplay style that the franchise is famous for can be attempted. Sure, people liked Crash Bandicoot 1 a lot when it came out. I mean, check out this kids magazine.
Yeah, I love these. I still love the original trilogy.
Crash 1 was one of them, so it must be true. I mean, look at what they say about Samus in Metroid. We know that playing as a girl is a bit, well, girly.
Ew,
Oh my
cutie.
god.
Real talk though, kids.
Oh
Halo
no,
isn't
playing as a
difficult game
girl.
at all.
Oh
You
my
wanna
god,
know
that
what's
is
really
horrible.
tough? SpongeBob.
Why do I have this magazine?
But no matter how much people loved Crash 1, when Crash 2 came out and refined and improved basically everything, it was clear where the original should have been from the very beginning, and it looks kind of bad now. But that's just hindsight. When Crash 2 came out in '97, you could only say that with the new knowledge you gained as a hardcore Dorito gammon, while gaming technology improved around you. Because at the time,
Can I just say that I never really ate Doritos before?
1996, so people didn't 100%
I know, weird,
how
right?
good
I
this
just
new
never
gaming
really
formula could possibly
touched
get
them
until they
ever.
experienced it for themselves. I mean, Jesus, people played Pong in 1972 and they thought that video games had peaked. That's it, guys. We're not
Yeah,
getting any
that's
better than this.
peak,
Back
guys.
up
We
and
are
go home.
not going any better than
So
this.
it goes on.
Oh my
Sequel
god, it
comes
has
out,
colors.
It improves itself. Another sequel comes out, it improves itself. And just when there's a few people that start complaining about that gameplay style getting a bit too repetitive and too old or stale, another sequel comes
It's
out which
never
tries
gonna
to
get old
fix
for me.
all of those problems. Which then makes those complainers realise how good they had it in the first place. That's how I
True.
think gaming classics are born. You don't just finish making a game and then declare it classic immediately. Only time will tell.
And nowadays, we all know the original Crash trilogy is classic because they remade them and they still hold up brilliantly today. The same can even be said about Crash's first attempt of a kart racer. Fantastic then, and fantastic as a remake even now.
I cannot stress it enough. I loved Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel. It was such an amazing game.
Their luck when everyone started bitching about it. Now, where have I heard that before?
Oh god, not this one.
Every franchise, whether it's about a purple dragon or a blue guinea pig, suffers from this problem of sinking really damn low when trying desperately to spice up what made their own games terrific in the first place. Even the portly Italian Pillsbury Doughboy wasn't safe from this trend. And even though it makes us respect and appreciate their good games even more, they still exist. And when it comes to Crash, bless his little belly baton. Once
Yeah,
Naughty Dog
he
had
had
nothing to do
it
with
the
him after
worst.
4 games in, nobody had a clue how to use him. Party games, open world games, more racing games.
I mean, Crash Insanity was good for what it was, I'm gonna be honest. Even though it was a brokenness and pretty much unfinished, I really think that Crash Insanity is still a pretty good
The
game.
recently announced Crash 4 is carrying on from Crash 3 officially, despite Wrath of Cortex and Twin Sanity being labeled as Crash 4 and Crash 5 in Japan?
Yeah, it's because of all those other games the timeline wouldn't make release sense anymore.
Many years ago on this channel. Wrath of Cortex was one of them, and I'm not going to bother looking at it in this video because I already went through it top to bottom in depth not that long ago. But suffice it to say,
I mean, that's the fun thing about Crash Bandicoot 4. It actually makes all of those different games actually canon in some way because of the existence of different universes.
Boxes, monkey bar swinging is slower than corpse decomposition, your eyes escape your head and float in midair, and Crash looks like an inflatable sex doll, which makes me want to be sick in my mouth. There's also this one level here where you can beat it to get the crystal by just letting go of the controller. Yes, I'm not joking about that. This is supposed to be a
peak level
Minecraft race where you
development right
pick
here.
different routes to take to try and get in front of Crunch, and you don't need to press a single button and you will win. This game is a masterpiece. I also did do a video on Crash Bash, but that was back in 2012. 2012. That was even before YouTube was taken over by Susan Wetwinky. And because that video is terrible, I figured I'd drop myself into this video nice and gently and revisit Crash Bash to see if it really was the beginning of Crash's downfall.
Yeah,
after
I
Naughty
don't
Dog
think
flopped in to start
she
making
had
games
a...
about hairy men.
How should I even say it? She had a different personality back
I
then.
never have to mention them again. These games I'll be talking about today have been heavily requested on my channel for years now, so sorry for the wait. I hope this is what you wanted.
Oh wow, check it out. It's Crash and Bash'em. I reviewed this game when I was a clean-shaven child. The graphics
Yeah,
as well
I'm
are
not
actually
really a
quite
huge
good.
fan
The
of Crash
graphics
Bash.
look good, and I
It's...
don't know what I was talking about. This was the first Crash
Some
game
of
to be picked
its
up by another
parts of the
random
game,
developer
like
after
the
Naughty Dog lost the rights of the
fucking relic
character to
collection,
Universal.
overall the
And that does
progression is
spell
just
bad news at the
painful.
offset, but at least the new devs, Eurocom, didn't try to poorly replicate the original formula. They instead tried to do a
Welcome
Mario
to the
Party,
stream.
but with a gorilla with an anus for a face. Doesn't mean the game is great though, despite it doing its own thing, because, spoiler warning, I don't think it's that great.
Can we judge the game by the first world of adventure? No, we can't.
Ignore him. Now, even though Crashly Bashly is a party game, if you're all by yourself, you can indeed play a single-player adventure mode. Ooh, get you. And in adventure mode, I decided to pick Cortex because when he's running, his hands turn into a canary. But you can't call this an adventure without a story. I mean, what do you think this game is? Hiking? So the intro cutscene clues us in on what's going on. In the most basic of terms, Aku Aku and Uka Uka are having an argument.
Yeah,
which
the
almost leads to
plot
the
of this
worst
game is
boxing match of all
also
time
just
because none of them have
pretty,
any arms.
to say it politely, trash.
Oh, Uka Uka. The ancients would not allow it.
Ah, do you know what? Aku Aku is right. Yeah, we've never done that before at all. No, we don't fight.
Exactly.
It's not,
It's not, they have done this many times. What is the excuse here?
You know what's even weirder about this though? The first line spoken in this cutscene is,
How many times must you be told? You cannot defeat me.
so why does Uka Uka even try to fight Aku Aku after all of that? Why give him the ancient's excuse? You both can't hurt each other. Aku Aku said so. Do you have memory loss, Uka Uka? Can wood get Alzheimer's? Anyway, after this, Aku Aku has had enough and is about to bring the thunder.
This bickering can go on no longer.
Or he's gonna sound like a fed-up mother.
And logically, just like when you catch your own kids bickering, there's only one way to settle it. Illegal cage fighting.
I mean, that's one way to
Instead of
solve your
settling
problems.
This tiny squabble between themselves, these omnipotent and all-powerful masks decide to steal their supposed friends and pit them against each other until
Yeah, and
only one
these
is
masks
left
are supposed to
alive.
be
And Crash
smart,
is
huh?
A-okay with it. What is he doing? And so, by winning a random set of battle party games and fighting boss levels at the end of each warp room, your chosen character must beat out the competition for the glory of their own mask that forced them into this horror, and this somehow proves how great they are and who wins this pissy little argument. Even stranger, though, is that since I picked Cortex, I'm fighting for the evil side, and yet the boss levels are all the same if you picked the hero side. Even Uka Uka says in the boss cutscenes,
You must first meet an old friend.
so if they're old friends, why are we fighting the bosses? If the bosses are evil and friends with Uka Uka, including the final boss, doesn't that mean that the evil side already wins this argument by
Wait.
default? What's going on? Why are we fighting them?
Yeah, true. Wait,
Oh, don't
what?
worry, he's flat now. This story is a total disaster. No other words. It's as much of a mess as Tiny Tiger's character
Oh, yeah,
model.
also
Cortex's hair,
just
though, is on point.
some of those
Look
evil
at it.
characters
It's so
being
on point
forced
that
on
it
your
is a
team, like,
point. His
come
hair
on.
Is so sharp he could open
They
an
gotta
envelope
at
with
least
it.
came
So
up with
Crash
some
Bandicoot,
new
Bandicoot,
characters,
like I
I
mentioned earlier,
guess.
is Mario Party for the entirety of the game.
Or add
but without
Polar
the game
and
board or
the
dice to roll,
Tiger,
and
like,
it's worse.
come on.
You just win mini
You
games
had
over and over
options.
again to progress. And where some of these games on their own are totally passable and fun in their own right, where Crash Bash fails is with the tedium of it all. This is one of the most repetitive games I've ever played. In
Yeah,
fact,
it has a
it's
lot
so
of,
repetitive
like,
that in
it
the
only
first
has
walkthrough,
few
you get
mini games and
four-way
just a lot
bomb,
of different
polar bear
versions
fighting,
of
pogo
those,
stick
right?
bouncing, and 3D brawling. And then in the second warp room, you get four-way pong,
Yeah,
polar bear fighting,
it's the
pogo stick
same
bouncing,
thing
and
with
3D
just
brawling.
a bit
Sure,
different.
there's an additional game mechanic added in for the copies, but they're still copies. They feel exactly the same to play, and many of these mini-games are copied up to 3 times throughout the adventure mode in different warp rooms, with nothing but a different color
Yeah,
of
that's
paint. And
why
not all.
I
Get
don't
this, in
like
order
this
to unlock
game.
the boss battles from each warp room, you need a certain amount of trophies. And no, your wife doesn't count. To get the trophy on one of these levels, you need
Oh,
to
well,
win the
it's not like I
minigame in
even have
question
one.
not once, not twice, but 3 times. And this isn't a best out of 3 system or anything like that. The game keeps on going until anybody in the match wins 3 times, meaning that you could potentially replay the level 9 times in a row in order to win just
think
one
thought
trophy.
that was a
And
good
that's assuming
idea.
you even win on the 9th attempt. So you get the 4 trophies from Warp Room 1, unlock Boss 1, and then think to yourself, God damn, I can't wait to see something new. And then, oh dear, Warp Room 2 has exactly the same minigame styles you just did, aside from 1 extra level you haven't seen before, and you still need to win them all 3 times
Yeah, if
each.
I
And then
also
all of a
remember
sudden,
correctly,
Boss 2
the
won't
amount
let
of
you win,
collecting
because
need
you
to
need
do.
trophies,
Oh yeah,
gems,
there it
and
is. The gems and
crystals to
crystals.
get inside. But where do you get the gems and crystals from, you bitch? Why? By going back through all the levels you've already replayed a million times over and
replay them
replaying
again.
them again. But this time with an overly frustrating crutch, like randomly growing insta-kill mushrooms taking over the stage,
That's
or you
very
beginning the stage
fun,
with
huh?
less health than everybody else. Yes, Engine, this is a great idea. When 2 giant missile-equipped mech suits can't take down a tiny Bandicoot, just spin around and spit balls out of your mouth, I'll get them.
So yeah, the single-player adventure mode, aside from the decent bosses, it's pretty horrendous. And unfortunately, unless you own a first edition black labeled European version of Crash Bash, like I do, there's no code you can put in anywhere to unlock all of the multiplayer games straight away if you want to just jump into a match with a few friends. You have to go through the adventure mode and unlock everything in that tedious goddamn way. Otherwise, you're stuck with 4 mini-games total.
Yeah,
with
that's
4
pretty
different
shit,
skins,
huh?
and
Like
that
this
is
game
it.
is.
Unless you have a
This game
copy of
only really
Spyro
works
3.
as just some
Yes,
simple
stay with
games
me.
to play
By
with
holding
friends.
L1 and R2 on the
It
title
shouldn't
screen of Spyro 3
like
and pressing
having
square,
adventure
you get
mode
access
kind
to
of
a
killed
hidden
this
Crash
game
Bash
for me,
demo.
to be honest.
And then, if you type in a specific code on the title screen of the demo, you are then granted access to a cheat menu, where you can not only manipulate and change basically everything on the screen, but also have access to nearly every single level, fully multiplayer compatible and all. You are missing a
all
few
of
of the final
that
mini
in
games, and you only have
the
3
This
bosses
Always
to pick
Pyro
from,
game.
boss 3 of which apparently being Homer Simpson. But yes, essentially,
Oh my god,
nearly
not the Simpsons,
entire
but
Crash
our
Bash game
greatest
is hidden
enemy.
on a Spyro 3 disc, which I guess just goes to show you how little space Crash Bash's full disc was using in the
Yeah,
first
exactly.
place,
Like,
and therefore
if it
show you how
fit
much
in the
effort went
fucking
into it. I
Discovery
can't
Spyro
believe they
game,
left
that's
this here
just
accidentally.
insane.
It's so damn cool. Look, you can even see the exact date and time that this beta build of the game was placed onto the Spyro 3 disc. How adorable. Okay, what I just said about the no effort thing, that was harsh. There is quite a bit of effort put into some of Crash Bash. The soundtrack, for instance,
Is
is one
there?
of Crash's best on the PS1. In fact, below Crash 2, I'd say it was the second best. So go
Okay,
and check it
yeah,
out.
I
And when you
guess, yeah,
do
the
have all the
soundtrack is
minigames
good.
unlocked, it is a decent distraction with friends, but getting to that point legitimately, which the majority of players of this game had to do, is hellish. And my lord, aside from the repetition and copy-paste minigames, the looks of this game really end up burying it. Too many freeze frames I was able to grab from this game were absolutely horrifying.
Yeah.
And a far cry from the detail
The
you'd expect from
visuals are
Crash
not the
universe,
best,
even on
but
the
it
PS1.
is a
And come on,
PS1
man,
game.
Cortex's head here looks like a boiled egg on top of a frisbee.
I can see a good game here.
Okay, now I cannot unsee it.
But it's not in there. And that's probably the saddest thing. Oh, I don't know. Maybe if I shout at it, it will be better. Oi!
Oi.
That didn't work. But don't fret. I mean, did you like Crash Team Racing? Yeah? Good. Well, have I got the steal for you? Because for the low, low price of 3, you can get Crash Team Racing, but on the PS2 with better graphics,
Not
and
this
you fall
one.
through the floor all the time.
Yeah, I had many glitches like this as well when I played it.
Sign me up, Banduka boy. So Crash Nitro Kart was sort of a sequel slash spiritual successor to Crash Team Racing for the PS2 era. And oh boy, does it feel like a game stuck in the shadow
Yeah,
of its
it
better
is
big brother
that.
that the parents love more. In many ways, this is just a
It
carbon
is so
copy of
slow,
Crash Team
it has
Racing,
no
but
sense
just
of
not as
speed in
good.
it.
It's even apparent in the adventure mode. The plot of CTR is
Aliens.
and the plot of Nitro Kart is
Aliens.
But instead of
That is the
Oxide
best
threatening to
summary
turn
of the
Earth into a
plot of
giant concrete
both
parking lot,
of
you have
those
this
games.
guy called Velo who just steals you to race a bunch of times to entertain other aliens on another planet. That's basically it. And his beard is the shape of the first letter of his name.
I mean, what kind of asshole does that?
Nitro Kart does actually give you a good first impression. Instead of making you pick one character only for the entire adventure like in
Yeah,
CTR,
I think
you get to pick from
like
either
that's a
Team
really
Bandicoot
cool
or
thing,
Team
and it has
Cortex,
also
allowing
different
you to
plot
swap
for
between
what
3
team you
different characters
choose.
with their own unique driving styles and kart stats whenever you want to in between all of the races. And that's not all. You even get unique cutscenes for each team throughout the story mode based on who you pick. But then you realize that they didn't bother to fix the facial animations for the masks.
You will have to race in order to win the Galaxy Circuit and save Earth for us
Yeah,
to
that is a
Welcome to the future of
disappointment.
gaming, everyone. This is the PS2.
Like, I think they just went for the,
What's
you
my
know,
name? Easy.
I think they wanted to make it,
Sloppy, because that's what
how should I say
and
it?
that's a massive shame to me because as far as
I
pushing
think
the
they just
Crash
wanted
Kart
to
racing
be
games
some kind
forward,
of, you know,
Nitro Kart gave us a fair amount
they just wanted
new and good.
this kind
was
of
the game that introduced a
mouth
new
movement
boost
because
formula where the
it
closer
would
you leave
remind
the drift
people
meter
of the
to burnout,
original,
the faster
but I
boost
think they
you're
should have
rewarded
just
with.
scrapped
A
that and
brilliant
went for the
reward system
full-on,
that they
you
later
know,
brought back for
mouth
Nitro.
movement.
They gave us unique track designs with trap crates to break
Yeah, I
and
think the
activate
only
different
thing
obstacles on
good
the
that
track
came
to
out of
sabotage
the
other players.
Nitro Kart
There are
is
some
the
great new
boosting
items
system.
like the tornado that picks up anybody it touches and goes around half the track. There's anti-gravity gimmicks in the levels that
To be
Mario would
honest,
later copy
I would
in
have
Mario
loved if
Kart
some of
8
those
11
items
years
from
later.
Nitro
The
Kart
adventure mode
would
has
be
this frenzy
in
system where a
the
meter
Nitro
slowly
Field.
charges with your teammates throughout the race, after which you're able to use as many random items as you can before the timer runs out. The visuals can be absolutely breathtaking for a PS2 game, and hell, they even brought back the staples from CTR that made the adventure mode stand out in the first place, like the 3 token collection races, crystal grabbing arenas, and the time trial relic races.
I still
And
won't
since they
forgive
already
them
copied
for
so much that
cutting
worked from
some of
CTR,
the
it would only
parts
make
from the
sense for them to copy
Hyperspace
the
Way map.
addictive, maniacal, and bouncy
I will
control
never
style.
forgive them for that.
But they don't. Nitro Kart feels like the developers witnessed the birth of a miracle child, and while the mother was still splayed, shoved it back in. Nitro Kart is an unbirthed baby that was already born.
I need therapy.
Even though you're not playing the game right now, you can probably
I
see the
didn't
downgrade
need
just from
to
the
see
footage.
this.
Nitro Kart has absolutely no sense of speed or heaviness to the karts to make it feel like you're burning rubber against the terrain. It feels like you're floating along it. It's very flat and unreactive, which wouldn't be so bad if the jumping and drifting didn't feel limp and splatty, and the turning didn't feel like you were unfolding an ironing board, but it does. Especially with the highest speed, lowest turn characters, unless you're drifting, it barely feels like you even turn at all, and you even slow down if you hold a turn for too long, because clearly someone thought you weren't going slow enough. Even driving into the levels is a pain. Driving into the levels is difficult. Stop judging me, it's very hard. Why are you looking at me like that, engine? Oh look, we've got a boss race heading our
Like,
way. I wonder who
why
will be
do you
fighting
have
from
the
the Crash universe
pointy
today.
things? Come on.
Oh.
Poor Caddy, he can't manage through this kind
This
of different,
delightful little
you know,
cherub is
terrain.
called Crunk. Don't know who he is? Neither do I. And instead of being introduced in a comically personalized way, where he's talking directly to the camera and intimidating the player, he instead gets forced into racing us by Velo. And then he says, "Nah, I don't want to race them, they're smelly." And then Velo says,
Oh, come on, please, Daddy.
and then Crunk says yes. Yeah, that is the quality of the boss races we have in Nitro Kart. And as for the
Yeah,
race
I mean,
itself,
at least
well,
for
I've gotta
this
be honest,
one,
I'm
right?
not even sure it
Some
was a
other
race.
bosses
See ya
actually,
later, monkey
like,
beta. At
there
this
is
point, I'd
no
rather have a
talking
race
to the
against that
player,
thing in
which,
Star
yeah,
Fox
it
64 called
sucks.
Bacon. The pathetic boss races
But
aren't all either when it
some
comes
other
to the
bosses are
difficulty of
actually
Nitro
willing to
Kart. In
race.
fact, when you mix in the Team Frenzy mechanic and new boost formula that is outright broken when you get the hang of it, this ends up becoming the easiest kart racer I think I've ever
Yeah, that's
played.
true.
And the boss races
Once
don't
you
even
get the hang
allow
of
you to
boosting in
use
this game,
Frenzy,
it's
so
just way
that's
too
how
easy.
they are. Topping all of this off is a piddling number of tracks compared to CTR as well.
Oh, that did not feel good.
And I don't even want to know what noise you'd make if you did feel good.
And even though this is supposed to be a high-tech advanced PS2 follow-up to Crash Team Racing, Nitro Kart ends up being one of the most unpolished games I've ever played. Constantly clipping through the floor is one thing, but it's another thing when the frame rate tanks whenever there's more than 3 karts on the same screen. The shields don't even work half the time, and in some races you're even able
Yeah,
to
that's my
crash. How
main
the hell did you
problem
do
with this
that? I
game.
genuinely love
That's
the
just
track
some
design
of
and
those
the
things
visuals
just
of
don't
Nitro
want to
Kart,
work
but
properly.
even if you can get past the
I know
performance problems, there's no
how
point
they
coming
tested
back to
this game, but
whatsoever
they
since it
clearly
controls
didn't
worse
test
than
it
Crash Team
enough.
Racing and doesn't feel as good to play, which in a kart racer I would argue is the main thing you need to get right. That's why games like Mario Kart 64 or Double Dash hold up so well after all these years. Yeah, they've put some of the tracks from these games in the future installments, but you can always feel safe going back to these ones because you know you're going to be having a great time controlling the karts. Oh, and by the way, the loading screens are terrifying. Crash is dead.
Oh wow, look at that!
They
It's a
killed
bonus
Crash,
platform.
no.
You know what that means? Yeah, we've got an extra racing game to look at. So welcome everybody to the Caddicarus
Let's go, Caddicarus bounce round.
Yep, just when you thought they couldn't mess it up anymore and that they should have let Crash Team
No.
Racing die with dignity, here we
Please,
have
no.
another Crash Kart Racer Tag Team Racing. But it's okay because Jetix Magazine says it's the best Crash
Who the
game
fuck
ever.
is even
And
Jetix?
everyone knows who Jetix Magazine is.
Hey everyone, it's me, your favorite primetime family-friendly YouTube superstar, Gump!
So immediately, I
Hello,
do have to give
Gump.
Tag Team Racing some credit. The story mode here is at least something different and not another random invasion. The plot here is
Yeah,
that
for
you're
once
back in
it's not
Cortex and
aliens.
accidentally stumble into a theme park
That
built
is
entirely
a
for
one
roller coasters
credit I
and
can give them.
racetracks. Is that a wang? And you get roped into recovering the power sources for each of the theme park's lands that were mysteriously stolen from Von Clutch over here. But we're only helping him to do that because whoever does help him wins ownership of the entire park, which Cortex really wants to do, and we can't let him do that.
Perhaps a riddle or two! That's my trolley pack mascot, Willy Wumper Cheeks.
That sounds like a character from an adult movie.
Smash Brandy's.
Yeah, for some
Yeah, probably
reason
that
people
one. So
Tag Team
wanted
Racing
this
is yet
character
another
in
Crash Kart
Nitro
racer,
Field.
if you
I don't
couldn't
know
tell.
why.
It's CTR and Nitro Kart again, but with a million extra pointless mechanics, and in my opinion, it's even worse. The car controls are unbearably stiff. The track designs are the
Well,
opposite
you can
of
say they
interesting.
are
The shortcuts barely mean
unique
anything. The
in a
music
way.
is boring. The engaging and skill-based jumping drift to boost system has been totally removed and replaced with an awful power slide move that doesn't even help that much and makes this noise whenever you use it. But the worst thing about it, to me at least, is the main gimmick that separates this racer from the rest. The clashing
Yeah, the
system.
clashing
In any race,
is
at any
way too
time, the
overpowered.
character you pick can turn into a ghost and clonk their way into another car of your choosing to merge with them.
And as we all know, nobody can clink the clonk as good as Crash Badinky Donk.
By doing this, you briefly turn the game into Mario Kart Double Dash, but for war criminals, since you can swap between driving
Yes,
the car
that
or
is
aiming a weapon
there's the
that has now
perfect
attached itself onto
description.
the car
It
in
is
order to blow up
literally just
everyone
a
else until you
fucking
run out of
war
ammo.
zone.
On paper, this sounds like the coolest addition ever. It's like Crash Team Racing meets Twisted Metal, especially since there's plenty of characters with unique weapons, there's loads of vehicle types with different defense, speed, and handling options, and plenty of unique visual combinations for certain karts clashing together. But all of this falls apart like soggy bread once you realize that you only need to clash with one car, and then you've automatically won
Yeah,
every
engines,
single race.
rockets, they are way
Engine.
too overpowered. They
You see,
can
Engine's
one-shot
weapon he
anyone.
has are these
Who thought that
rockets,
was a
and they
good
are
idea?
so
I have
overpowered, I'm
absolutely
pretty sure
no
they could be
clue.
used in tactical warfare. With these rockets, you mow everybody down with no effort, 1 to 2 hits max with splash damage. And whenever you're gunning, the CPU in the driver's seat goes around the track as perfectly as possible. So just make sure you fire the rockets, detach from your host like a dying flea right before the end of the 3rd lap because you get thrown forward every time you
That's
do
the
detach,
perfect
and then
description.
you'll find
You
that
just
win
fucking
every
ditch
single
them
time. When you're
for
in
a
this
win.
state, you are in complete control. You are a parasite. The helpless sap you attach to can't ever force you off.
Yeah, that's
There's
what
no
that's
time
what
limit
I
to
did
this
when
or
playing
penalty
this
for
game. I
overusing
just
it. You can
hate
use
the
overpowered
controls
race
of
items
this
in
game.
conjunction with the rockets. If you get blown up by other races, you recover
It
2
was
seconds
fun
later,
blowing
still
people
in the
up.
clash formation. And the best thing, if you run out of rockets, you can always detach and then immediately reattach again to
Like,
get
in my
all
opinion,
of
the
your
clash
ammo back.
mechanic
Sure, you can
should be
always switch
just
driving
like a
positions and let the
one-time
computer player
thing in a
shoot down
race. You
those
should be
but why
able
would
to
you do
spam
that
it.
when you can effortlessly get rid of the
Or
competition
at least
and
have
not
some
to
kind
deal
of
with the painfully
charging before you can
unsatisfying driving
clash, like
mechanics. You could always say
anything.
that this is an
Why can't you
optional
just do
mechanic, I
it
suppose,
anytime and how many
except it
times you
isn't, because
want?
if you don't clash with another car in any race, then you're a very weak target to every other car firing at you, and you explode so much as tumbleweed touches you. Not to mention, again, you're stuck with kart racing mechanics that feel like you're derailing a train, and other racers can attach themselves to you at random with as much consent as a Weinstein. Basically, if you don't clash, you lose, so why wouldn't you choose to clash with the most powerful weaponed racer? And then, once you unlock Engine shortly into the game, it all becomes even easier since you don't even need to look for him in the race to grab his rockets. You can clash at the very start of the race to guarantee victory with any car without breaking a sweat. Look at these KOs. Look at these KOs.
Yeah,
For a
that's
3-lap
basically
race
the amount of
lasting
chaos
around
I was
3
getting
minutes,
when
this
playing
thing
this
goes
game.
averaging 7 KOs per
Like seriously,
minute.
there
So
is
at this point,
no
why does the
balancing
track
in this
design
game.
matter? Why do the
It's
visuals
good
matter?
that
Why
this
do the
game didn't
shortcuts
have any
matter? That even a
multiplayer.
small
It
fighting
would have been
chance in
just
tag team
horrible.
racing, you have to use this clash mechanic, which means you'll end up doing the same thing repeatedly to win every time. Even the other modes for each track have similar approaches to them.
Oh, and did you know? this game is a platformer?
Yeah, Tag Team Racing also has a giant hub world that's as much of a single game as the racing itself.
Yeah,
despite
I
being
don't see the
called
point
Tag
of there
Team.
being the open world, like the platforming shit.
Look at this. Look at this performance. The game didn't run spectacularly in the races, but this looks worse than my granddad's slippers. Couldn't you guys just focus on getting one gameplay style nailed instead of forcing as much in as possible? Did I just die from
Facts.
jumping into
What?
a bridge? The jumping and general
guess
running
bridges
around
can
controls
bite
are
now,
so
wow.
slippery and floaty, it's practically impossible to control where you're aiming towards. And even the spinning attack is lazy. See this? This isn't a death tornado
Yeah,
spin
that
power
is
up from
just
the other
spamming
game.
the
This
attack
isn't a super
button.
spin. This is just what happens when you hit square over and over again. The animation resets and you can keep spinning forever, meaning that no enemies will give you any trouble. No shits were given at all, my lumpies and germs. You also get interrupted a lot by Chick and Stu, who you may recognize from Nitro Fueled as the chickens who announce all the DLC Grand Prix. I hate them there, and I hate them even more here.
Spend it like crazy on new stuff. Bling bling.
I do
Bling,
like
bling.
them from Nitro Field. It
it
was
was
pretty
back
fun
then,
watching
wasn't it?
all those Grand Prix announcements.
Bling bling in my ding ding.
To be totally fair to Tag Team though, despite not being that fun to control, I do admire a few things they do in this overworld system. Firstly, they turned the death animations Crash is famous for into an explorative gameplay mechanic. As
Yeah,
you can go on a
that
scavenger hunt looking for
that is the
hidden
best thing
specific
about
death
this game.
cutscenes that quite
All
often
those
got a
different
chuckle out of me.
cutscenes.
Oh look, it's Flat Bandicoot. Secondly, these are some pretty expansive and densely designed hub worlds, especially on the vertical plane, and all the pockets of coins you find are able to purchase more outfits for your characters,
I mean,
more cars,
I
and even a few
guess
crystals
I
that you
wasn't
need
really
in
a
order to
big
open
fan
gates
of
that
the
will take you
worlds.
to the next power gem you need to progress to the next world. There's a reason to explore other than finding the next race, and I like that. You can also physically abuse the customers in the park, which is very cathartic because I
Funny
used to
thing
work
about
in
this,
retail,
the first
and the amount
world,
of times I wanted
you
to
can
take the head off of a
actually
customer and kick it
like
like a
completely
football is
skip
uncountable.
this entire area. You don't have to do a single race.
This is a 7+
To complete
game
the
with
first
child
area.
beating.
Actually, is this how old you need to be to play the game, or how many years in prison you'll get for child abuse? You know what though, now that I think about it, the balance is a bit too skewed in the platforming's favour, because winning a race only rewards you with 2 crystals, whereas you're going to be able to buy and find more hidden crystals in the overworld much faster in order to open
Oh,
up
is he
all
gonna
these gates in
mention
the
it?
hub worlds to then find the hidden power gems and skip a huge chunk of the game without
Yeah.
even doing a single race.
Welcome to Crash Tag Team Racing, where we don't like racing.
Overall though, Tag
I
Team
wonder
Racing is
if
an
there is
absolute mess,
some
and in
kind
my
of video
opinion, one
about
of the
someone
lowest
completing
points
the
of
game
Crash's
without doing a
console
single
career.
race.
It tries to appeal to everyone, but ends up impressing no one. Half of it is Crash Team Racing, but with worse controls, worse performance, worse visuals, broken mechanics, and boring, stale track design, while the other half is Twin Sanity, but with worse controls, worse performance, worse visuals, worse enemies, and barely any really challenging platforming.
Hey, I'm a girl.
Yeah, Crash, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, what is wrong with
Women
Crash?
can't
What the
fight
hell?
back.
Wait, what?
Is it rude to say that I hate you?
Hey, Caddy, look over here.
What do you
I'm
mean? I can throw a
Charlie
punch.
Window. I'm not in the mood for this. Can you please give me the next game? Oh, okay. I just wanted to let some light into your world. Can you give me the next game? Okay, fine. Don't be such a glass hole. Give me the next. Go get it!
Is that? Oh.
Skylanders Imaginators. This isn't a Crash game. Well, this cartoon says otherwise. Cartoon?
You don't even
Oh,
know the
no,
half of it,
no.
mate.
Oh no.
Extreme Rescue Mission!
Oh my god. What is this?
I was on the Wampa Islands and about to free my friend Tawna from the clutches of the evil Dr. Neo Cortex.
Is this show trying to get a rise out of me? Because it's working.
Like that's not Crash. That is not my fucking Bandicoot.
Yep. Oh, I'm angry. I'm rising, right? I'm rising like a souffle!
I'm sorry, but what in God's unholy pants is this? I don't care if this show is any good. Judging by this inclusion of Crash, I really don't care. Pure and simple, this is not Crash Bandicoot. This is not the point of his character. He's a mute dumbass meant to tribute other mute dumbasses in old Warner Brothers
Exactly.
cartoons. To not only give him a voice, but a brain is completely missing the point. Crash is planning. He doesn't plan. He eats the things he's supposed to be collecting. This is going to be controversial, I know, but I honestly prefer the horrible Crash 2 promo video version of Crash over this, because at least Crash wasn't a fully established character at that point, and he was still an idiot in that.
He at least was the Crash we
They
know.
could have used anybody here if they needed a character like this. It shouldn't have been Crash. Hashtag not my Banuka.
But don't worry, these fever dream clips from the Skylanders TV show is not what I'm going to be looking at today. Instead, I'll be taking a look at the game that the show was based on.
For those who don't know, Skylanders is a series of simple 3D beat-em-up platforming games in the Spyro mythos, kind of like LEGO Star Wars in terms of style and feeling, except that it requires the use of a
Yeah, I did have a lot of
USB
figures
portal device in order
from
for you to place different
Skylanders.
figures onto the portal and have them pop up in the game.
I did
Different figures
play
have
it
different
a lot,
abilities to get by different
like, years
obstacles and
ago.
unlock different secrets. And on its own, I don't think it's too offensive. It's a cute little idea. But in 2016, when we were
I did like
constantly
collecting the
teased a Crash
figures. I
game on
still have
PS4
all of
after
them.
8 years of silence, to then have Sony go on stage and just mention casually, oh yeah, we're working on some remasters, and then go off and show a trailer for a game which had nothing to do with Crash directly, but instead had him as a cameo with one additional level to that game, felt like a little bit of a joke. People were not
Yeah,
happy about this
I
announcement
wasn't
back
really
then.
that happy
Remember,
that they
this
did
was
that, but
before we had
fortunately
seen
we did
anything
get
to
a
do with the
remake,
Insane
so
trilogy, and after all
in
of
the end,
games that had spiraled
it
Crash
was
off
pretty good.
downhill, this was Crash's official PS4 comeback. So to see him coming back on PS4 but in a children's toy collecting game was a bit of a bait and switch. But hey, at least the figures are pretty awesome. I love these little things. I also accidentally bought 4. Before we get onto the Crash content though, let's take a look at the game as it is. The story of Skylanders Imaginators is that Spyro is having a race, and then Evil comes in and stops the race. And by the way, the character design of
yeah,
Spyro makes me
the
wet in a
plot
bad
of
way. So I
this
guess it's
game
now
is
time
the
for me to pick up
weakest
my
out
figures
of
and
all
place
of the
them onto
games I
portal.
won. I will be honest here.
Oh my god, it's magic! Look who it is! From my toy! It's Crash Burger! I've got to say, it's very bizarre to see Spyro and Crash running around together in a game that isn't... But I welcome it.
Yeah,
It looks weirdly
that.
natural here. And since we're in a beat-em-up, I really love how most of the moves Crash is famous for are translated into fighting moves that can be purchased with the coins that you collect. From super spinning to belly flopping and even sliding, it's all here, just not giving you the same utility as in the platforming games. I kinda like Crash here, honestly. I mean, he's a bit of a chunky monkey, but in this world and art style, he fits in quite nicely. Except whenever you pause the
Yeah,
game.
except his moveset is kind of bad, I
Crashy,
would
you had a
say.
stroke. Your design, however, I'm sorry, your design is disgusting. Your face looks like a pug that was stung by a wasp, so I'm gonna switch over to Cortex and shoot some holes in it. Throughout the game, you can activate different shrines to give the figures you have new moves to play with, and to be frank, I thought it would be a case of unlocking one universal move for an entire class of figure to use, but as it turns out, you not only get unique moves for each character of each class, but even a unique cutscene of them getting it. This is a level of effort I can respect here.
So this is called the Mysterious Ancient Place.
And you have a mysterious ancient face.
Oh, and before we carry on, I just wanted to mention how cool this little feature
Like,
is.
in my opinion,
here
this
is a
game,
gem figure.
like,
And not
I
only
really
does it
hate
light up when you
how
place
we
it on
have
the
now
portal,
those Skylander NPCs.
the pretty
And
but it
they
also allows you
basically
to
shoved
create and
aside
store your
Flynn
very own
and other
Skylander
characters
that has
that
a
were
specific class based on
being
the
part
kind
of the
gem that you
story.
have. And
That's
this
the
is as
most
extensive as a
disappointing
bloody
thing.
Bethesda game. Look at this. Individual body proportions, accessories, weapons, skin, and my favorite, the voice. Here's my hero. Do you like her?
Yeah,
She's
I
an
mean, the
armor-wearing
creation
ram-horned
system is
snake
nice,
woman with a
but
fire bow, and
they
I called
locked
her
out a
Fromage.
lot of the customizability, like the items in additional
So
levels.
after we pass the first story stage, we're then let loose in the main hub world,
And,
which
of
is when we
course, the
then unlock
characters
entire reason
themselves,
I
like
picked up this
senseis.
stupid overpriced Playmobil set, the Thumping Wumpa Islands. It's its own exclusive level within Skylanders Imaginators with exclusive cutscenes and its own mini story to get through, featuring specialized obstacles and items, nice easy puzzles to break up the gameplay, and even the classic boxes to break for Crash.
I have some news. Your old friend Spyro...
What? You mean the one I threw Molotovs at? There's tons of Easter eggs, subtle nods and references to the older games, really
Yeah,
pretty
this
visuals, and a
level
decent
was
sense
pretty
of
cool,
humor
to be
boot.
honest. It had all of those different nice Easter eggs.
So it sounds really great so far, right? Well, I'm afraid it kind of isn't. This is the slowest thing I think I've ever touched. And I touched the floor yesterday.
Look, say what you want about the quality of the gameplay or the ethics behind Crash being in Skylanders after an 8-year gap of nothing. Regardless if you love or hate Skylanders, how can anybody be okay with the slug-like speed you move? Isn't this supposed to be a
it is
fast-paced
a
action game for
children's
kids?
game,
They're
so
pretty quick in the home world. What's going on over here? And I know this is for kids, but hey, the
Caddy,
original trilogy were
remember,
for kids
children
too, and they
cannot
were never
comprehend
this
like
easy. You just run
all
around
of
and hit stuff
FPS
with,
in a
like, 2 or
second. They
3
need
buttons
more
while
time
doing
to
the occasional
comprehend
jump,
any kind of
repeated ad
information.
nauseum. It really is baby's first beat 'em up, and that wouldn't be so bad except you move along as fast as cheese on toast. It doesn't matter what extra moves you purchase or whatever, you still end up doing the simplest button mashing combos and nothing else. And often that's the best way to get past any combat encounter because the singular powerful moves that take a long time to wind up don't do as much damage as a quick 1-2-3 combo with your basic punches. And annoyingly, the slowness coupled with the repetitive simplicity is what ends up ruining so many more encounters throughout the game. At this point, you don't have a guard, dash, or roll, just a run, jump, and attack. So tanking hits in big crowds is inevitable. Look, they all move faster
if there was some kind of additional stuff like guarding, I think it would have been better. I do agree with this, that the combat is way too simple and slow.
So I hope you have enough figures, kids, or else you'll need to steal Mummy's credit card. This then becomes a huge problem when you're told
only Crash Bandicoot can unlock this zone.
But the problem is he got Steam pressed earlier, which means I would need to start my entire 30 minutes of playtime so far.
Yeah,
all
that is
over
the worst
again in order
thing.
to
Yeah,
reach
I
that
also
point
have
to
this
open the door as
situation.
Crash, while going through all of the sticky running, enemy smacking, property destroying, and puzzle solving all over again. You know what this game reminds me of? Over the Hedge on the Xbox. And if you're reminding me of Over the Hedge, you're bugging
Not
it up.
this
This
game.
isn't what everyone wanted me to talk about, is it? Okay, fine. I guess it was only a matter of time. These 2 final games I'll be looking at for this video have been requested
We all
by
know
my
which
viewers,
ones
no
those
joke,
are.
for over 8 years now. And to celebrate me finally getting around to talking about them, I invited a celebrity guest to show you what the first one is.
What the hell is this?
Thanks for that, Billy Willy. Now I just gotta put my name in.
Billy
which is
Willy?
Egg.
Oh, great. Here we go, everyone.
Yep, there it
Crash
is.
of the Titans. Okay, so this intro cutscene I actually really like. This shadow puppet art style with no
Like,
dialogue
I
is a
don't
very
hate this
unique
game.
way to set up the story.
Like,
even if
it has
reminds me a
its
bit too
own
much of
charm
Jungle Book
in a
2,
way.
and I don't ever want to be
Like,
reminded
there's
of Jungle
just
Book 2.
one problem I have
Okay,
with
so
this
should I start
game,
addressing the
and
obvious?
that is the
That being
AI
these
and the designs of the
questionable
characters.
character designs? I'm
But
sorry,
mostly the
everyone. I know
AI
this
of
version
the
Crash has
enemies.
its fans, but not me. This
Like,
is a standing up
months
orange
ago, no,
hyena with
even I think a
tattoos.
year
I
ago
mean, who
now.
does that?
I
Tattoos
tried
are
to beat
freak.
this
He's
game
dressed up like a
without dying
rejected member
once,
of Green
but
Day, and his
like I don't think
entire
it's
aura reeks of the
impossible,
mid-2000s.
but it
There's
is
no
insanely
timelessness
hard
here. I
because
still don't know why
the
they
enemies
did
just
this. And I don't know what's up
like
with the
they
voices
have
either.
no
Crunch is like if
sense
Tony
of
the Tiger was
just
played by
like
Mr.
they're just gonna
T.
stop. Once they see you,
But hey,
they
at
will
least Cortex
just
is still pretty funny.
freaking
There is
swarm
always
you,
that.
and you just die because you get stun locked to death. That is why I died in one of the attempts,
And I
because
don't
I just
hate the
got
new Aku Aku
stun
here. I
locked
can
to
still
death.
tell that it's him, but that face he pulls when he's shielding you is a little. And yes, I said shielding. There's a guard mechanic in Crash of the Titans, and even a roll, because this is yet another 3D beat-em-up similar to Skylanders, except much faster.
Like, this is why I prefer Crash Mind over Mutant over this. Like, they actually managed to improve the AI in the sequel.
There's nothing complicated going on, or different strategies you need to come up with at a second's notice. There's no dashing or darting around, it's all incredibly straightforward. Crash runs around like he's late for a meeting, and most bafflingly, he doesn't even start the game with the spin move, which is like Sonic starting a game without being an annoying dick. You have to unlock the spin first, and get this, if you use it for a little bit, it makes
can I
you
just say,
dizzy.
Sonic
Crash Bandicoot,
is the
dizzy
most
from
annoying
spinning,
character
which is
in a
all he's
video
done
game
since the beginning.
franchise
This
I
dude
have
isn't Crash,
ever
he's a poor
seen.
man's imitation.
Why, you big fraud?
I'm
you-
sorry to the
So
Sonic fans, but
peculiar to
I
me. never
hate
thought I'd live
this
to see the day
fucking
where the
blue
words Combo
hedgehog.
King appeared on screen in a Crash game. And Crash, wait, what's this? What are you doing? Stop it! Oh, okay, I got an achievement. What was it for? The right stuff? What right stuff? What, you mean this? This was the right stuff? I'd say this was the wrong stuff. But of course, I am blissfully ignoring the other major aspect of this game, which is presented to you on the front of the box. and I'm mostly avoiding it because of what it's called. It sounds like you're pulling someone off. Basically, there are a handful of bigger creatures that you can fight.
The name
that after you
is,
start hitting them, makes a star
to say the
counter
least,
appear above their
questionable.
head. Keep wailing on them to fill it up, wait for them to get stunned, then tap a button and...
What is this magic?
Yes, for some confusing reason, in Crash of the Titans, Crash can... jack certain beasts to do his dirty work for him, which usually means just doing the same thing that you would already be doing, but just doing it harder. How did Crash get this ability?
Yeah,
When did he learn
that
it?
is
Why does he need
also
to do
another
it?
thing
It's
I don't
unexplained.
like in the Crash of
I'd love to
Titans.
say more about this game, but to tell you the truth,
Titans
I really,
are
really can't. What you're seeing
too
here,
simple,
this is the game.
I would
Whether by
say.
your lonesome or riding on the back of a demented pig, you are pressing the same buttons,
Like in
fighting
Crash
the same
Mind
waves of
of a
enemies, and
Mutant,
getting by the most
the
rudimentary
Titans have
platforming
some
sequences
kind
with
of
barely
usage in the
anything resembling thought
overworld,
being needed to
right?
carry on.
With
Gotta
some
be honest, I don't
puzzles.
like tag team
They can
racing, but
actually
at least the
jump
world was
in
more
Mind of a
interesting to
Mutant.
explore. This is just unpalatable. There's nothing technically wrong with it, but it's easily the most boring game of the bunch with nothing standing out, nothing special about it, and nobody making a joke about Crash
And the
possessing
most
monsters being
bullshit
called jacking. It doesn't
one
matter
at
how good
that.
your game is at that point.
But remember,
if it's boring,
the AI
you've
in this
lost
game
me. I
is
mean, at least
absolute
Skylanders,
dog
for as
shit.
slow as that game is, allowed you to collect coins and spend them on upgrades that you wanted to choose. Here, you don't get a choice. You just
I
keep
agree
collecting
with
these
this.
blue balls, and then you'll
Like,
eventually unlock some kind of
you
new
can't
move,
even
and
choose
that's
what you want to
it. There's no
upgrade.
strategy or thought to
All you
any
can
of
do
this,
is just
or
try
any
and
concrete
get
reasons to
enough
explore. I'm being serious when I say
mojo
this
until you
is
can
the
get the
Crash
upgrade
version
you
of
want.
Sonic
I hate
Boom.
it.
Yes, a fundamentally boring and unengaging beat 'em up with no thought required, basic platforming, new character designs, new unexplained abilities, and a new universe for the characters to explore that's given no build-up, backstory, or context.
Yeah, that's true.
Only
How the
difference is in
fuck
Crash of the
did
Titans,
Crash
you
get
don't
this
disappear.
ability? Like, it's never
And do you want to
explained.
see where I couldn't take it anymore? Right damn here. This is apparently Uka Uka. Yes, this Uka Uka.
Yeah,
Way to
I
completely
like.
toss aside your
If
old
it was a
fans that you're still trying
different
to attract
mask
back
instead
into
of
the
Uka
series after
Uka,
the
this
platforming
design would have
apparently
been
got too
perfect.
stale.
But
I mean, I think that it's a
why
cool as hell mask
why
design
is
on
it
its own,
Uka
but
Uka?
that is not Uka Uka.
I will take the mojo and Bandicoot female back to our base.
That's my Nan. And Cortex, my goodness. You know, I've heard people complain about Cortex's look in Crash Bandicoot 4, and here I am
I
saying...
don't like his look in Crash
serious?
Bandicoot 4.
You can always end up looking like this.
like,
Cortex here looks
it's
like a
better
cross
than
between a
this, yeah,
toddler and an old
exactly.
man. Or a balding Pinocchio.
Aha! Bonjour, everyone, and welcome
Okay,
back
no
to my
joke.
show.
There's some similarity in that edit he did. I'm not gonna lie. That's the first time he was actually very accurate.
Heating it for you.
Oh.
Yeah, there it is.
Mind over mutant. Come on then, let's get this over with. My name is... Limes. The first mission of this game is a tutorial
Limes?
gauntlet where Crash's sister Coco sends us off to look for a load of Coco parts, and I really don't think her brother should be doing that. After that, I hate to report, it's exactly the damn
Yeah,
same game as
it
Titans.
is basically
No
the same with
exaggeration.
just some
It's the
additions.
same game, except Crash overdid the steroids in his shins. And now he has short shorts. Is that a lump? Oh wait, no, I'm telling a lie. There is something else a little bit different here. There's a kids art pack? What's all of this then? Oh wow, are these fan arts from children that they hid in the menus of this game just to be cute? Oh dear. Crash
Oh
is in
my
a
goodness.
mankini. You know what? I'm gonna call it. I don't think this is kids fan art. I'm willing to bet that this was official concept art, because holy crap, this is the worst design of Crash I think I've ever seen. He looks like a gangly
Yes,
30-year-old
this
man
must be
dressed
the
up as Crash
official
Bandicoot,
concept
not
art.
actually him.
There's
The
another
limb proportions are
explanation.
all wrong. He looks way too humanoid. He's too tall. And again, people complained about Crash 4 or the Insane
Again,
trilogy.
why
even.
don't they
Just look at
complain
this
about
climbing
those two
animation.
designs?
Look at it. Is
These
this
designs
Crash
are good.
Bandicoot or The Exorcist? To be fair to Mind Over Mutant though, even though it is the same game as Titans and the character designs have been left in the toilet, I've got to say, this is basically just a better version of Titans when it comes to the game.
Exactly.
From the start, you've got way more fighting
It
moves
is so
to
much
work
better
with,
than
including a
Titans.
last-minute dodging and counter-attack move to really let you get into the combat mechanics and let you think about what buttons you have to press. And you get more moves for all the platforming you'll be doing. The platforming itself being
Though
10
there's
times more
actually
interesting and
one
involved than in Crash of the
issue I have with
Titans.
the
Feeling a lot
AI.
like Twin Sanity in place,
It is actually way
Not to
too easy
mention
now.
hijacking the Titans for fighting has more
Because
uses, since they don't only have their own
before,
unique
in
special moves
Titans,
that can
the
not only
enemies
benefit
would
you in
swarm you,
combat,
which was
but also
bad.
aid you in
But now,
exploration and get
enemies
into
just
secret
go
areas.
to you
Even
one
better,
by
you can
one.
jump on and off any
So,
Titan you want to at any
with
time
this
and
new
store
combat
them on your
mechanics with
equipping
Crash
slot,
we have,
and
you can
need to
just
press the equip button
easily
again to
kill
get straight back
all
on
of
making
them
the
with
flips
just
between
Crash.
combat and Crash's
They're just
exclusive
using
climbing
those
platforming
special
feel way more natural and
counters.
of the
Like,
moment. The Titans feel like an extension
there
to Crash
shouldn't
instead of just
be
something
that
you do every
the
so often.
enemies
You're not
just go
going
to you
through
one
the
by
motions
one.
and
It
hitting a
just should be
single attack
that,
button over and over
you know,
again.
they wouldn't
This
just
is
swarm
not half
all of
bad.
you at
I'd
once.
happily play this over Titans anyway. But at the end of the day, it is still a simplistic kids beat-em-up game, no escaping it, and it's really damn easy.
Another person balancing on the other end would make
Yeah,
it much easier.
these puzzles are a joke.
Oh, was I not supposed to be able to do that? And to be perfectly honest, for as monotonous and mindless as this game does inevitably become, I won't lie, I thought it was a little bit worth it to watch all of the cutscenes linking each level
Yeah,
segment
the
together.
cutscenes in this game are peak. I do like that all of them are in different art styles.
Different cartoon style. There's flash animation, hand puppets, olden-timey, and the scripting, voice acting, and characterization is perfect. I'd even argue it's better than what Twinsanity had to offer in terms of humor. Just check out some of the gags
Yes,
that they
I
somehow
agree. The
got away
humor
with
in
here
this
and
game
tell
is
me
actually
that you
better than
didn't crack the
Twinsanity.
smile.
So true.
Embryo. My name sounds like fetus.
Call now and you'll also receive neckbeard in a can.
Can't talk? Watching monkeys. Look at a monkey. Oh, right in his own mouth.
Stare
Monkey.
and dream. Stare and dream. Soon to be available everywhere but Arkansas.
Punch him in the throat.
Not my throat! I need that for swallowing!
These are all so fast-paced, funny, expressive, and creative that I'm pretty convinced that Mind Over Mutant was originally supposed to be an animated series or something, but got rejected at the pretense of it being for a character from a video game, and so they were told by executives that they would prefer a video game, so then they just copied and pasted the ideas and mechanics from Crash of the Titans into here so that they could show
I
you all
mean,
the animated
maybe,
sequences they
but
made.
I don't know.
I smell a conspiracy here. Oh, hang on. That's just fish. I'm in the
Fish?
market. So I wasn't expecting this in
Oh.
the slightest, but this mini marathon of the post-Naughty Dog Crash Bandicoot games ended on a weirdly positive note. Mind Over Mutant
Yeah,
is
I
not
do
that
agree
bad.
on the.
I mean, it's not great. I wouldn't
It's
go out
not
of my way
really
to
bad,
willingly
like
play
I
it again,
said.
but it's a lot
It's
better
much
than
better
the
than
other parts
Titans,
we've
that's for
visited.
sure.
But overall, when you see the Crash Bandicoot 4 announcement trailer and hear this little exchange at the end of it,
How many times have you beaten this clown anyway?
3.
Really? Only 3? Funny. Seemed like more.
I can totally understand now why they decided to split the timeline after Crash 3 and pretend like the other games didn't happen.
However good or bad you think
Yeah.
these games were as the next main
I
Crash
think it was a
installments,
smart move
nobody
by
can
them.
deny that they were all over the bloody place in
Like,
terms
everyone
of focus and
agrees that
direction,
the
which
original
eventually led to
trilogy
the
was
original
just the
trilogy
best.
getting the insane remakes in the first place. People just wanted to go back to the good, solid stuff that everyone knew,
Though,
everyone loved,
sadly,
was really
again, it
tightly
has
designed,
been a
and what
while
made
since we
Crash
got
great and
another
lovable to
mainline
begin
Crash
with.
game.
None of this sack
Like,
crunch. What the hell are
Crash
you looking
Bandicoot
at
4
right there?
came out in
Yes,
2020.
that is a nice chest.
It
The
is.
racing
It
games
was
were kept
almost
on life
6
support
years
for far
ago.
too long. Titans was a dated bore. Mutant was a
I
mediocre
mean,
attempt to keep that new gameplay
there's
style
possibility
going,
we are
and
getting
Skylanders
Crash
wasn't
Team
even a
Racing
Crash game. The
2
only
from
one I
what
can
we
see
saw.
some potential in is with
But I would
Crash Bash,
just prefer a
considering
new
how
mainline
long-lasting Mario
game.
Party has been and how well received Super Mario Party was on the Switch. I'd love to see them tackle this kind of game again, especially with the huge roster of characters in CTR Nitro Fueled, including cameos from Spyro. I think we could get a really damn good-looking and incredibly fun party game with lots of characters duking it out.
With that, though, comes the conclusion
Well,
of yet
we kinda
another
did,
Bandicoot
and
month.
sadly
So
it didn't
thank you
do
so
that
much for
well.
joining me this year, and my new wife, of course. And even though nowadays Naughty Dog is spending far too much time being naughty dogs, I'd like to end this video with a thank you. Because without you, Naughty Dog, I wouldn't be here right now. But do you have a copy of Smash Brandy's Cooch?
Huh?
Subscribe.
Well, yeah. Wait, yeah, he didn't talk about Crash Boom Bang, did he? Did he avoid it on purpose?